I slept with my landlord to pay our rent. Now my husband has find out. Story time. I was living with my husband in a compound, and my husband is driving keke. He is hustling very well. Me, I am selling fruits and any kind of business I can lay my hands on. And I am making money from that business. So we are living fine. And we have lived for 7 good years. So one day, I was where I was selling my fruits. They called me on phone, a strange number, telling me that there was an accident, that a very big lorry hit my husband, and that keke got damaged, but he was alive. So when I rushed to the scene of that accident, I find out that my husband's backbone was affected. So we rushed him to the hospital. And lucky enough, the company that owns that lorry, they were able to help us. They started paying for his treatment. But it got to a point that they stopped treating him. So he is my husband, and before the incident happened, we were living just okay. So I have to bring all the savings, all the money that I have saved to support my husband, and we started using the money for the treatment, the feeding, and it was affecting me because I am the one that is taking care of him. I can't even go out to do my business. I was always with him in the hospital. And while this thing was going on, before that accident, we have planned to pay our rent because our rent have expired. So we were planning on, if my husband bring, I'll bring my own, we'll join it and pay the rent. But when the situation turned out to be the way it is now, we can't even see the money to pay for the hospital bills, not to talk of paying rent. And my landlord, even though he saw the situation that we are in, he keeps calling me at every given point that our rent have expired, though, that he is going to add interest to it, though, this, that. Every now and then, this man keep being on my neck. Sometimes my husband will hear when he called. I will tell him, please be patient with us. Then this thing continued, and my husband's situation wasn't getting better, So, and one day I was coming out from my apartment, rushing to the hospital. My landlord was coming out, and we met face to face, and he told me that I have another option to pay for that bills. I was like, tell me, what is it? He said if I will sleep with him, that he is going to forget about the rent. I shunned him. I told him never to come to me with such offer next time, that I am living happily with my husband. This man said he is going to show me. I left. After 1 week, 2 weeks, he was on my neck. I have looked for money. I can't even find money anywhere. We haven't even paid for the hospital bill. Then the landlord, he even threatened to throw us out of the house for not paying the rent. So one day, throughout the night, I couldn't sleep. I was thinking about it. And finally, I decided to do it, since he said if I do it, he will forget about the rent. Let me only focus on the hospital bill. Because even my husband's brothers, they are not helping matters. They are not contributing anything. Everything is on my neck. Sometimes I'll hurry up, do few business, come back and use the money for the hospital again, just for my husband to get better. Then when I decided to do this with my landlord, we did it. And while we are going, I told him that he will have to give me receipt though. He wrote a receipt and gave me, and I showed my husband. At least let his mind calm down and concentrate on healing. So ever since then, he stopped disturbing me, and we now concentrated on the treatment, how to pay for it and all of that. And I did everything I could. As God may have it, after some time, my husband got better. But getting better, he cannot stand up. I will have to buy a wheelchair for him. And he was moving with wheelchair. And that simply means that he no longer does anything. But to me, it's not a problem. I'm making money from myself. So I was taking care of the family, doing everything as I used to. Then, one day, my phone was beside my husband, and my landlord called. He picked the call. The moment my husband and my landlord heard his voice, he hung up on him. And my husband now went through my phone and saw a message that my landlord sent to me. asking me when are we going to meet again, that the last time we did it, that he enjoyed it, he wanted to do it again with me. My husband was mad. He called me. I told him that nothing, no, there is nothing like that. My husband changed completely. Then after a few days, he went and brought a knife, saying that if I did not tell him the truth, that he's going to buy himself and tell his family that I did it. At this point, I love my husband, I have to confess. So that was how I told him everything. How, because at that moment he started asking me how I was able to pay the rent, because he knew that at that moment that we don't have any money to pay the rent and all of that. That was how I told him. And ever since then, my husband have refused to forgive me. As a matter of fact, he called his brothers to come and pick him. They pick him, and he is now in the village. Even though he's on wheelchair, he refused to forgive me. And I have been feeling guilty ever since then. I have begged my husband, I have sent people to beg him, and up till now he's not forgiving me. Then I don't know if I should leave township and go back to the village to go and stay with him, or I should be here hustling, because sometimes I used to send money for his feeding. Even though they are collecting the money for the feeding, he has refused to forgive me. I know I offended him. At this point, I don't know what to do. Please, if you know what I can do, tell me under the comment section and share this video. My mother is the kind of mother no one prays to have as a mother. Story time. When my father was alive, he tried everything to make sure that my mother has something doing. But on several occasions, my father opened a shop for my mother. She ended up squandering the money, and the whole business could not stand. He opened this provision store for her. She couldn't manage it. She said, oh, she wanted to be selling women wears. My father did this, opened the shop for her. She messed everything up, and the business could not stand. About 3 or 4 businesses that my father opened for my mother could not manage it. And we are 5 in number, 3 girls and 2 boys. I am 19 years old, and I am the oldest. So when my father was doing all of this and it wasn't working, at some point he decided not to bother my mother again. So my mother just stay at home, enjoy herself, take care of herself. The only thing that matters to my mother is taking care of her skin, her makeup. As in the morning, my mother will just wake up, eat, do her makeup, and stay at home. You know? So this thing happened. At some point, my father stopped worrying himself over starting a business for her. Few years later, my father passed. And when my father passed, my mother cried like someone that does not have a help, and of which there is no hope, because my father was working and was providing for us. But now that he's no more, we started suffering. What my mother did was, 4 of my siblings, he sent them to go and live with people. 2 people were living with her siblings. 2 other people he sent to my uncle and my aunt from my father's side. Then, when he wants to send me out, I told her that I am not going anywhere, that we are going to stay here. I refused to go and live with anybody. Because when my father was alive, he said he doesn't want any of his children to go and live with people. So, now, because there is nothing to eat, I started hawking. I hawk different kinds of goods. The part that hurts me the most is that my mother will not do anything. It's not as if she's old though. She is still young. She will stay at home. When I bring back the money that I made through hawking, my mother will use it and buy jewelries. She will use it and do her makeup, fix her nails, fix new hairs almost every 2 weeks. And when I complain, she will tell me that she have taken care of me, that it is my turn to take care of her. And before you know it, 2 of my sisters returned back from where they are living, from the people they are living with. They came back to stay at home. I was the one making money, making sure that all of them are eating. And my mother cannot even help. Instead, she will misuse the money that I gave her. Then, the part that is hurting me, that made me want to beat my mother, is the part that she keep bringing different kinds of women, different kinds of men in our house. The same house that my younger sisters are living. My younger sisters are around the age of 14, 16. My mother is bringing men there, different kinds of men. They will come and sleep with her and give her money. And my siblings are looking at her. They are learning from her. And the very first time I saw it, I was very angry. She said she's not going to do it again. But severally, my younger sisters told me when I came back that my mother keep bringing different men inside the house. And at this point, I don't know what to do because I don't want my mother to spoil my younger sisters with her attitude, because you guys know that the more she's doing that, the more they are learning from her. I don't know what to do at this point. I don't know if I'm to run away from that house so that however they want, let them cope. But my siblings, I have as in whatever that concerns them is bothering me, and that is why I am bringing this up to see if there's anything I can do. Because even when my uncle wanted to open something for her, I told my uncle about everything. My uncle gave her money still, and she still cannot maintain that business. At this point, nobody cares to help us again. But my mother's reckless life is what is disturbing me because of my younger ones. Please, if you know what I will do in such situation, tell me, because I am tired. I don't know if I should run away. This is someone's story. I am so ashamed to share my story with anyone due to what people will say or call me. But at this point, I think I need to tell someone my story and see if I will get help. Story time. I was friends with one girl like that, and this lady is living expensive life. Everything about her is luxury. And as a fellow girl, I needed to live up to her standard. So I asked her, girl, show me the way now. Why are you like this and I'm living like a pauper? Show me the way. I am ready to do anything. This lady told me that I may not be able to do what she is doing, to live that kind of lifestyle. I told her that as long as you are doing it, I can do it. She said, okay, that she's going to take me to Dubai. But I will have to do some nasty, nasty things. I was like, if you can do it, I can do it. That was how she took me to Dubai. All expenses paid for. She paid for all the expenses. Then, when I got to Dubai, she introduced me to some men. And we did some nasty, nasty things, like up to 4 men at once. Then the part that is ruining me today is they introduced me to their dog, but they told me that the dog is not going to do it with me. It's just that I am going to stay one place and allow the dog to lick my plate. I was shocked. But since my friend is there and she told me that that is what she has been doing, I said, okay, I will do it. That was how I kept myself. At first, I don't know how I felt, but at the end of the day, I was able to do it, and they paid me handsomely. After that trip, I made close to 4 million naira. And when I returned back to Nigeria, I went quickly and bought a dog. And I introduced my dog to that lifestyle. And ever since then, I no longer meet men. My dog have been doing all the doings. But at this point, I got infected. When I went to the hospital, they told me it's a fungal disease. I have spent all the money that I have made so far in treating this disease, and it is getting worse by the day. At some point, someone introduced me to herbal medicine, and I have been using the herbal medicine. It is getting a little bit better. But at this point, I don't even have the money to do this. Before, even though I was going through all of that, I still cannot let the dog go, because no one, as in the way the dog satisfied me, I can't even believe it. But it got to a point that I have to sell the dog and even use the money for my treatment. But right now, I am running out of cash, and that sickness is still there. So I have to share my story with someone, even though some people will condemn me. But I have to say it out so that people will also learn from it, and if I will get help, and see if I will get help as well. So, what do you think? Tell us under the comment section, and do well to share this video. Bye for now.